Greetings, fellow slinging agents in the wild. It's your trusted handler, Brian, coming at you from the digital rage room. Well, Gaslight Disavowed is underway, and I hope you are all enjoying it as much as we did while recording it. But before we continue with the fun, we got the shoutouts. First, I want to welcome our newest YouTube subscriber, Rafael Morellis. Welcome to the show. I hope you're enjoying our current season, but don't forget to check out our backlog. We got quite a few seasons to listen to, and I'm sure there's something out there to your liking. Moving on to the comments, we have Of Steam, Steel, and Murder, who commented on our Deep Waters Disavowed Episode 1. I'm loving these Disavowed sessions. Your homebrews are top-notch, as is the roleplay. Cracks beer. Cheers. Thank you, SSM. That is just what I want to hear. You know, I take pride in my homebrew material. Sometimes it'll take me a few weeks to tweak it to my liking, and then I hope that the hardslingers will like it while playing it. Then I hope all of you will like it while listening to it. And it's kind of scary, you know, putting something like that out there that you're not sure people are going to enjoy. So when I get comments like these, it really charges me up to stay the course. Thank you. And finally, we have from good friend of the show, James Wachter, who says, in regards to Deep Waters Disavowed Episode 1, another amazing episode, guys. Thank you so much. No, James, as always, thank you. And thank all of you, fellow slinging agents of the wild. You know, as a side note, I've been thinking about possibly having a Q&A session via Zoom or YouTube or something like that. So let me know if you guys would like to join myself and a few of the hardslingers for something along that venue. Alright, enough is enough. Let's warm up our dice and top off our glass as Roll the Hard 20 presents Gaslight Disavowed Episode 2. Enjoy. Well, you guys are firmly back in Delta Green as of now.
Laissez les bon temps rouler. Let the good times roll.
Yeah. Je te riais. That's all I know. Throw you in the back. All right, bye, you boys. Let's read us in and get ready. Greetings, fellow slinging agents in the wild. Welcome back to Roll Hard 20. It is I, your trusted handler, Brian, and with me, my hard slingers of yore.
Babouche.
Yeah. So, last episode, you guys were requisitioned by Heisenberg to go to New Orleans, where they have this epidemic of tourists that are suddenly missing their heads and upper shoulders. He believes that it's an old, friendly turned agent of the agency, one Randall Schaefer, who absconded with several sensitive artifacts and rituals, as well as personnel files of Heisenberg, both of you, and other agency employees. You've been tasked with getting all those items back and dealing with Randall Schaefer. Currently, right now, you are standing street side in front of the 5th murdered victim, talking with Lieutenant Davenport, trying to get some more information. Polly, you had just witnessed what the body looks like. Each, you're over talking with a few of the officers that are trying to corral the rest of the people away. We'll pick up with each right now.
Okay. Who are these officers here that I see? I'll introduce myself.
Well, one of them is Officer Bennings,
Okay.
the individual who picked you up from the airport. And the other one is just another officer.
Okay. I'll introduce myself to the other officer. Hello, officer. I'm Agent Okami. I just did this, listeners, so he has to pick a new name. I just wanted to say thanks for having us here. Officer Bennings, good to see you. How can I help out?
Well, shouldn't we be asking you what to do? Agent, I mean, you just tell us what you need us to do. Right now, we're currently on security duty to make sure that everybody kind of stays back, but we're also told to kind of keep an eye on some of the looky-loos that maybe somebody that knows more than what they're letting on might be here in the crowd. That's what we're doing right now.
This is your home turf, and I'm here to help out however I can. You guys know these streets. Is there anything that maybe that we could be missing? Like what's your gut instinct on these? Is this the fifth one I've heard? And catch me up as much as you can, but what do you think is going on here? I'm just trying to catch up right now.
I don't know, Agent. We seen some of the video from one of the deaths. This man was walking with his woman behind in the background, and he just exploded in crimson. There looked like some kind of a video malfunction, but I don't know. Maybe that might have been somebody rushing them and attacking them. We're kind of thinking that maybe somebody with a samurai sword or something is going in and cutting these people up, and we can't really be certain.
I don't know if something like a samurai sword, did you say? I don't know if something like that could do what happened to these victims. I mean, unless the victims have been deceased in different ways. Have they all been the same?
Yeah, they all look the same. We're thinking that maybe it's somebody highly skilled with a sword, maybe Asian descent, slick back, black hair.
Half Asian?
Who's Phasian?
What about the knowledge to the public? Does the public know about any of this, or are you keeping this under wraps? Do you believe this could be the work of a serial killer? I mean, I don't want to start imposing ideas or things like that until I've seen everything. So I'd really love to get information from the people who have seen it, and I can maybe help put together some sort of case study.
Well, because right now we're a little bit at a loss. We're just kind of saying that they're all unrelated currently, and that
All
maybe some
tourists,
drunk individuals are causing all these deaths. I mean, every year around this time of year, we always have people dying and getting killed, getting hit by cars, getting shot, stabbed, mugged. So we're able to write off quite a bit as long as the general populace doesn't know the specifics of how these people died. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, and I've heard they're all tourists.
Yes, that's true.
From out of state or local tourists, like coming in to enjoy, like someone would come in to enjoy Los Angeles or San Francisco who lives in California.
I don't think any of the locals would be found here on Bourbon Street. The locals really don't do that. That's more of a out of town kind of thing, but I don't know the specifics of where everybody is from.
But they are from out of town, you think, right?
Yes.
It's hard enough to keep our own citizens safe, let alone crazy tourists doing dumb things.
Well, get a little bit of booze in somebody, who knows what they're going to do. They tend to act up a little bit. They're around their buddies and stuff. But the thing is that most of these people, they're with their families. These aren't drunk bums wandering around the streets with big old drinking funnels and whatnot. These are just people, and most of them happened during the daylight hours. So,
And each of these happened with someone else with them? Did this killing happen with someone else? I believe I saw someone sitting down, feeling a bit shocked. Do I still see them, Handler?
yeah, that would be the husband is sitting off to the side. He's got another officer consoling them. And as this is going on, you see the medical examiner wagon show up and start putting the body on a stretcher and moving it towards the van. Agent Adesso, you see this as well as Lieutenant Davenport kind of moves you out of the way so that could occur without any impedance.
Fair enough.
Before I leave, Bennings, Officer Bennings, has anyone had a chance to talk to the husband of the deceased yet?
I know the lieutenant had spoke to him briefly, but I imagine they're going to take his statement down at the station. Did you feel like you wanted to talk with him?
I'd love to just... I don't know how anyone could be going through this and not be broken to the core, but if possible, I'd love to go speak to do you have his name, the husband?
I believe his name is Dan Whalen.
Dan Whalen, okay. Well, if you'll excuse me for a moment, I want to go see if I can offer any services to Mr. Whalen.
Sure, please.
Okay.
Odesso,
Yep.
the lieutenant finishes up with you, finishes showing you the body, covers the body back up. You see the medical examiner arrive, the body on a stretcher, take it to the van.
Just before it leaves, I'd like to take a look at the collar of the dress to see if there's anything, any residue, any fibers, anything at all that would give me a hint. Like if it was a shoe, would there be edges where the material would be frayed? Pieces, anything caught in there? Just take a good look without going too detailed.
As they're loading the body into the van, you run over and you stop the assistant. He's like, can I help you, Agent? I don't, what are we doing out here on the street?
Just want to take a look at the body first before you put it in. I want to see if there's any residuals in the clothing.
Yeah.
So I'll just pull it
Try
back.
to be sensitive, though. I think the husband's right over there. So.
Yeah, I don't want him to see. Actually, how about we load it up and I'll take a real quick look before you go.
That'd be great. Yeah, thank you. He loads the body, gurney and all, into the back of the van and lets you go in there. The lieutenant waits outside of the van while you do what you're doing. Go ahead and make What's that?
I was going to borrow some blue gloves from those guys.
Okay,
So
yeah, you see that
like you
there's
know
gloves. There's a box of gloves along one of the paneling inside the van, as well as bags and other stuff that would help maintain the integrity of a crime scene and the body that they would load. So,
Gotcha. Okay, what do I got to make? I think it's supposed to be
Make
more
it-
along the lines of what would you have in mind?
go ahead and give me a victimology roll.
Okay, 11.
11. Critical success.
All right.
Tell me what you're looking for on this.
Since it looks like the body was chopped or sawed or cut in half with something, I'm looking for any residual machine marks, tool marks, claw marks, anything left in the frayed clothing, because it went through her clothes too. So I'm taking an examination of the clothing around where the cut was, see if there's anything left over, fibers, materials, anything.
You don't see anything in the clothing, and it's hideous to look at. Mm-hmm. You see how the skin has just been completely pierced. Like I said, it looks as though something came together from the left and right sides and met in the middle, grinding bones, the rib cage and whatnot. But one of the things you do notice is that there appears to be something in one of the ribs. It looks almost like bone material or something similar to it, but it's a dingy yellow.
Grab some tweezers in the bag, and I pull that particular portion out, drop it in the bag.
As you're looking at it in the bag, it looks like some kind of a shard of calcium.
Tooth, claw.
Possibly. Mm-hmm. It's about a half-inch long, jagged, maybe at its most, maybe 5 millimeters in diameter at its fattest portion. But it comes to a real fine point.
Wow. Good successful roll.
I want to make a roll here myself.
Mm-hmm. Got it. All right, I'll put it in the bag and then label the bag, and then I'll show it to the lieutenant. A little bit odd. Looks like a tooth. Could be. We'll do a forensic examination of it, but something's here. Something strange.
I noticed you put something in the bag there.
No, I didn't want to try to hide it from him.
Oh, okay, because he made an observation check.
He was telling him. Yeah.
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 So he's like, okay.
No, I pulled that out there and I showed him, like, hey, this is part of your case. Because here's the deal. I don't have any forensics lab to give this to.
Oh, good one, Tone.
So it's like, I can't send it back to the lab. They don't know who I am. So I'll be open and notorious and say, why don't you have your forensics labs do this? You know, like you said, it's your case. Let's share the credit here. So here you go.
Did you give him the tooth?
I gave him the tooth.
Thank you, Agent. I appreciate your transparency. You know, you are with those other 4 agents, or you're not?
No, they're from the Quantico office. We're from another division out in Los Angeles. But yeah, we're with them, but not necessarily reporting to the same chain of command.
Yeah, you're handling things a little different than they did. They were very strong-armed, which is probably why I was so short with you and your partner over there.
What have they been doing, if you
We're
don't
just
mind
friends.
asking?
You're not seeing anybody else, but you're not exclusive. Well, they were very adamant that I turn over all my files that I had regarding any suspects that might be on my radar.
Have you done that?
No, not yet. I told them the same thing I told you, that I didn't have any suspects. And honestly, I don't. But I'd be damned if I was going to give them over everything that I had. I mean, we got to try to come up with something on our own here. We're not backwater buffoons.
No, I understand. That's why I'm going to be completely open and honest with you. This is something that you should put into your file and have it tested.
That'll really help with Chief. I mean, he's been blowing up my phone like crazy.
No, I understand. You didn't ask for our help, but we're here to render it. So let me be open and honest, and do me a favor, have a DNA check on this, because and when you do get the results, I'd be very, very, very close-chested with that. Very confidential, because if my suspicions are true, you're not going to get a result that you've ever seen before. And the fewer people that know about it, the better for everyone involved.
I don't know what that means, Agent.
That means don't let anybody else see the results other than you and then me.
That's
And
not what
it.
I mean. I mean, what do you mean by I've never seen something like this before? That makes no sense.
Again, when we have more time, I'll be happy to read you in.
You believe in ghosts?
Yeah, I want to, again, I'm not over there with him. This guy is not like a dude who's on the inside with us.
No, he's not. But here's my issue. One of the things of our mission is to get all the stuff that's the result of the bodies and then destroy it. Well, since he hasn't given over the information to the FBI, all the information's in one place. It's with him and his people. And when we're done, he's going to take this and he's going to put it with the rest of the information. Then when we're ready to destroy that, we'll ask for it under the FBI auspices. And if I can build a better relationship with him, he'll probably give it to me rather than those other 4 agents. And then we can destroy it at that time. That's my goal. If it doesn't go that way and the FBI gets it, then we'll ask Heisenberg saying, look, all the results, files, and materials were turned over to the FBI at Quantico, and he's going to have to use one of his own inside people to get that and destroy it.
Okay.
So you're over there talking, on your way to go talk to the grieving husband?
Yeah, I'm Dan Whalen.
Yes. You just see this middle-aged man, balding, heavy set, sitting on the curb, eyes just ringed with puffiness, red. A lot of red is not his own. In fact, it's whatever was left from his spouse.
Right. Okay, I'll go over and introduce myself. Mr. Whalen, do you have a moment to talk, please?
Yeah. What? Yes.
I am Agent Okami. I'm here to help, and I realize you probably have already talked to Lieutenant Davenport, maybe some other officers, but I would really like to know what you saw, what happened, and tell me anything, even if it sounds crazy. I'm specifically here to help solve this case, and I'm willing to do and listen to whatever you have to say. Anything could help with this.
My wife and I, we were just walking down the street here on vacation from out of state, and we were just talking about what we were going to do tomorrow when we leave town, and all of a sudden she just wasn't there anymore. I was holding on to a hand that was attached to an arm that wasn't attached to anything. I looked, and it's like one moment I was looking at her face, and the next moment I wasn't. She wasn't even there. It took seconds for me to realize. It wasn't until I heard other people screaming around me that I realized that she was gone.
This may sound odd, but where were you two before you came here? Where did you come from?
We went to the ice cream store, bought an ice cream, looked at some jewelry. We saw there was like a fortune teller guy or whatever on the side of the street. She thought it'd be fun to do that. She's kind of into that new age shit.
You remember which ice cream store and which jewelry and where the fortune teller were?
Well,
I'd love to follow up at each of these places.
yeah, the ice cream store was Cold Front. The jewelry store was Voodoo You Do Well. And I don't know, there's just it's like a street guy, you know how they have those people in Vegas too that sit along and they do the card tricks and you watch them, like a street performer. And we just sat in there, yeah.
Yeah, what about, so the other places are stores. This one you said was like a street person. Where was this located?
Well, this is like about an hour before it happened, because after we went to the jewelry store, we went and had a lunch. Some crawdads over at Who's Your Crawdaddy. And then...
I'm not laughing at him. I'm laughing at the handler. So that's out of game.
And then we had just exited the restaurant, and then it happened, but it wasn't him.
Well, I don't want to leave anything unfollowed up, though. So we'll check with the ice cream store and jewelry store. But what about this other person? The other places have an established brick and mortar place. You said this person wasn't at a store. Where was he located?
No, he was on the corner of up there by... No, where was it? Yeah, it was down by near Dumaine Street, just a few blocks down Bourbon Street.
And what did this fortune teller look like? Was it a male? Was it a female? Did you get a name?
Yeah, it was an African American male. Went by the name Doc Doll Doc, Doctor. I'd be the doctor, something like that.
And was this fortune tell was it free? Did you have to pay him money? Like, what did he ask for?
It was like $15 or something like that, and we gave him a tip of $5. He
Did he give you a little card or anything? Any kind of, like when you go to the amusement park and you talk to Esmeralda and she gives you a little card with your fortune? Was there anything like that?
No, it was all verbal. He had...
What did he say?
Well, he started... here's the thing is he started talking about our past and where we came from, and it was all vague and whatnot. And then he started saying that he saw a darkness, a cloud in our future, and that demise was imminent. And he started getting really dark with what he was talking about death and whatnot. And I just, at that point, I told Elaine, I'm like, we got to go. I just paid him, and it's like he wouldn't take the money. He was just kind of cross-legged on the floor, on the sidewalk. His eyes were rolled up and he's sweating, and he wouldn't let Elaine's hand go. And he kept saying, "The darkness is upon you. You will find an end," or something like that soon. I don't know. And kept talking about a great hunger. The hunger feeds you, the hunger eats you, or something like that. You'll satiate the hunger is what it was.
Okay. Well, we're working with we, meaning my fellow agent, we're working with the local law enforcement. You talk to the lieutenant. If you remember anything else, please call in. And specifically, you can ask for me, and I will talk to you.
There is something strange. I don't know. I thought maybe I was having an aneurysm or something. I don't know. It seemed really strange, but for the briefest, you know how you get those eye floaters in your eyes?
Yeah.
My left hand was holding her right hand, And for the briefest of moments, it's like there was a strip of blackness to my left, in my peripheral. And I even looked at it. It was just like there was nothing there. It was just blackness. And it took a moment, and I looked away thinking that maybe it was stress related or something. And the next thing I know, everybody around me is screaming. And that's when everything kind of unfolded.
Black shape to the left. Okay.
It was weird. I don't know. Look,
and it was gone after that?
Yeah, when I look back, it was gone. The only thing I could think is, like, I know stress can make your vision sour, and I've been under a lot of stress. That's why we took the vacation, and we're gonna go back tomorrow. She and I were gonna go back home, and we got a dinner date with our children. So she's gonna be ready to go, right? She's gonna be fine.
I'll have to check with the medical people, but maybe you should wait right here, and I'll see if I can talk to anyone that can give me some information, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
Or one of my associates from the local law enforcement will help you out too. But if you can, just stay right here and maybe move to the shade, get a little bit of a break from the heat.
Yeah, when you see Elaine, tell her I'll be here where she left me. I'll be waiting for her, okay? She can come pick me up and we'll go together. Thanks.
Indeed. Okay, wait right here, Mr. Whalen. And each will move back to Adesso.
You see Adesso hand Davenport this baggie. They close up the back of the van to the ME. Van takes off.
Okay. So I got to speak with Mr. Whalen a bit. I know you probably had some of your officers and yourself talk with him.
When you rolled up, that's who I was talking to.
Yes. Yeah, he. I think he's had a bit of a break because he had asked me to tell Elaine that he's waiting where she left him. So I think maybe you should have some of your medical people take him in and give him some care.
That's a tall order to get her to come back.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get some of my officers to send him over to medical, see if we could get something going on. Well, agents, we're about done here on the sidewalk. I'm going to start heading back to the department. You should probably check in with Dr. Broussard. He's the medical examiner. He could probably fill you in on anything else that I haven't been able to. How are you set for wheels?
We're going to have to borrow TEA agent's charger or Camaro again. We actually don't have any way to get around. So if there's potentially a car that we could borrow, or maybe you can direct us to a rental.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, why don't you just take my squad car? I'll get a ride with Jimmy, the officer that brought you in. Hey, Jimmy, I'm going to have you remain here with me a while. The agents are going to take my car. You're my ride home, so don't leave without me. Sure thing, LT.
Real quick, too, do we happen to have a time that this happened? Like, how long has this been a crime scene?
I can tell you that right now.
Okay.
It occurred about 1:25 in the afternoon. Current time right now is 3:15.
Okay. Well, thank you for the use of your vehicle, and Agent Adesso, if you have a moment, I'd like to speak with you.
Absolutely. All right. Each you go first.
Okay, so I'll walk over a little bit of a way so I know that we're at least out of earshot and say, so I spoke with the victim's husband, and apparently about an hour or so before the event happened, they had done the usual tourist thing. They went and had ice cream. They went to the jeweler and then saw a street fortune teller, Doc Doll, something like that, he said, which sounds an awful lot like our Doc Rondall. And so apparently this is another thing. I did find out the location. I don't know if the person is still there, but it may behoove us to go check that location somewhere at the corner or the area of Domain and Bourbon, I believe it was. And who knows, maybe there's some sort of cameras at stores around we could check or ask about and find out where this person might be going next. Real quick, handler, does that move further up the map of the victims?
Where the doc was at, or where the latest victim was at?
Where the victim was and where the doc is at. I'm just looking at the map. So the one before, that's the map of the dots are the victims, right?
Right. You guys are currently between the two dots that are to the northern portion of Bourbon Street, where the fifth body was found, which is where you're standing at now. Where this individual said that he saw this street fortune cookie dude is down by Dumaine Street, which is further south down Bourbon Street.
I think the dude's just walking up and down the street. And that's because it all is in a straight line. At least that's what I'm seeing here.
But they're all going somewhere is what potentially could be.
Yeah, I see it.
Look at the upper part of the picture. It's like in the upper right, you'll see where it says Bourbon.
Yeah, it's by the R bar and Royal Street.
Yeah, if you go down Bourbon, it's going to go at a 45-degree angle.
Dumaine, I see it now.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where they found him. Right now, you are currently between Barracks Street and Ursuline Avenue, and the newest body would be between those two.
Okay. Well, I'd love to find out from whoever knows if those bodies are progressively moving farther and farther down Bourbon Street towards maybe a final location we could plot out.
Closest to where wherever he's hanging out. Well, let me just give you the brief on what I was talking about, or what I just did. I pulled a tooth or something, tooth, fang, something, out of the body of the victim, and I gave it to the lieutenant so he can go and run some DNA tests on it. From what I understand, the other team of FBI agents has demanded all their files and anything that's a result of their investigation, which the lieutenant has not yet turned over. My thought is we'll be able to get it all from him when we're ready, because one of our mission points is to destroy it all. So we've got a few minutes, but this looks at first blush to be that Randall is summoning something from beyond the veil that comes in and then, for lack of a better term, bites off the heads of its victims. And what he's using to key these people into what lies beyond is still not known. How he does it, not known, but obviously there's something. I'm getting the sense that this is completely random. These people just are all happen to walk by him, and then he talks to them, and then now they're the subject of this problem, or the target of his aggression. But there doesn't seem to be anything unifying between all of them yet. We really
maybe
need to
we go to the medical examiners and find all the case information and see if these random people have something linking to them.
Yeah,
they all signed up for the same vacation package, or they all signed up for, the same tour bus line or something.
Right. It seems pretty random right now. He's just. What did you get from the victim's husband? Did he say anything about if you hear anything when it happened, anything of use?
Yes, he said after the fortune of typical doomsaying, dark clouds, demise, great hunger, satiate the hunger, he did say he saw a black shape in the peripheral of his vision. Said similar to like the floaters that we see in our eyeballs. He saw something come in and then it was gone. But obviously, if we have a tooth of sorts, and it looks like a giant bite mark of sorts, this black shape is with it. It's not just a trick of his eye. It's the doom of his wife, and he's broken. So they're gonna hopefully take care of him, but he's unfortunately waiting for his wife to return so they can go back home tomorrow.
Got it. Ryder, if I wanted to make a roll based upon the lore and such that I know, being a guy who's been doing this for so long, what would it be? Would it be the intuition roll again?
In what regard? Tell me how you want
what the monster is?
Yeah, what the monster is, how it's summoned. If I've come across anything in any of our previous writings where it's like, oh man, hey, this sounds like the great jaw from beyond, or, the great fanged wonder of 1,000 mouths, or, if I'd come across anything like that. I'm just trying to look for anything that might clue us into how he's doing it, what materials he may need, and why there seems to be a regular 1 hour between contact and then death. maybe anything I could use so that we could predict what he's going to be doing next. I mean, because I know he speaks Aklo, so he's been reading stuff. And the stuff he read, you know, obviously people are reading, they're not reading a primer on how to do Aklo, ABCs with Aklo, or, you know, Dick and Jane run. There's probably not anything like that. It's probably been materials relating to what may be important to somebody who's writing in that language. So maybe came across.
Okay, Dessa, go ahead and give me a demonology roll to let me know if you know anything about unearthly entities that may be doing this damage.
Okay. 33.
Oh, another success.
Yeah.
This harkens back to something you may have read about while going through your scholastic endeavors of entities that have the ability to span dimensions, allowing it to blip in and out, blip in and out. Other than that, you'd just be grasping at straws.
Got it. I'll let each know that.
Well, it sounds as if not only can it blip in and out, but now it's turning to corporeal form. It's leaving things. It's leaving a tooth.
My guess is it's being targeted. Schaefer's targeting these guys. He's figured out a way to get this entity to target something particular rather than just simply. I don't remember.
Why is he targeting
enough about
random people from out of state? These are all tourists, from what I can understand. I have to look at the files, but
yeah,
why would they just be? There has to be something that's, like you said, it's not just a random thing. It could be we've dealt with this crazy before, but my human mind wants there to be a reason for all
pattern,
these random things linked together.
Right. Okay, so our next stop should be the ME.
I agree.
Okay. We'll go back to the lieutenant and say we'd like, or actually, who's with us that we can talk to to ask directions for the ME?
You could ask the lieutenant.
Yeah.
He could just give you the address and you guys could GPS that shit if you want to.
Let's do that. Lieutenant, appreciate your help. We'd like to take a look at the ME's files and records on these last 4 deaths. We're going to try to discern a pattern. And of course, anything I figure out, I'll let you know.
Well, that sounds very nice of you, Agent. Thank you.
But where is the ME located?
He gives you the address. It says you can't miss it. It's the old gymnasium of the high school that closed shortly after Hurricane Rita. They repurposed it. He gives you the address and allows you to punch that into your cell phone, and he goes back to talking to Officer Bennings.
Got it. All right, let's go each.
I'm ready.
Take the handy-dandy patrol car, and then we leave. I want to call Heisenberg.
Very good.
Whip out the phone and call Heisenberg.
Odesso.
Yeah, got an update for you and a complication. Looks like we're dealing with a trans-dimensional entity that's biting and killing people that somehow Dr. Schaefer is able to control to the point that he can target certain individuals. Not sure why he's choosing who he's choosing. But the wrinkle is there are 4 other FBI agents from Quantico here.
What?
Yes, that's all we know. And we, of course, have been doing our best to avoid them. But there are 4 other FBI agents here.
Okay, but they're not the mission. Okay? I understand it, and I don't want to be insensitive to what they're doing there. But they are not the mission. Randall Schaefer is.
I believe what Odesso is saying is, are these our men or are these real FBI?
I would love to have the information to that, but unless I knew the agents' names, I wouldn't be able to cross-reference that. I could try to do a little snooping around on my end just to see if anybody's been dispatched down there, but the only way I could do that is if they were actual agents. As far as the agency is concerned, if we dispatched anybody down there, I wouldn't know. I don't know who their handler is.
Well, this is, they seem to be real FBI agents because they were very ham-handed with the local law enforcement. The first thing they did was show up and demand of our friend Lieutenant all of his files and records, which of course he bridled at and refused to turn over, but I'm developing a good relationship with him. Of note, I was able to extract from the victim something that could be a tooth, fang, I don't know what it was, but definitely not of this earth, is my instinct on it. And I turned it over to him. My hope is that once we're ready to wrap this all up, we'll be able to get all of the materials, files, and things and destroy it. If nothing else, if it truly goes to the real FBI, well, I'll be hoping that you'll have enough contacts or pull that you can get that dump of data and then dispose of it accordingly.
Well, the thing is that you said these guys came on pretty heavy-handed towards the lieutenant.
Yes.
You know, I've heard the same about you, Adesso. That doesn't make you an FBI agent.
Yeah, there's
Not trying to split hairs or anything, but... Anyways, getting back to what each had asked me about earlier. It's looking like there might be a few caches close to you. I'm currently trying to check in to see which ones are still viable, if at any. After the last hurricane that went through there, they're either wiped out or inaccessible. So, give me a call back in about 30 minutes or so, and I might have some information for you.
Will do. We're on our way to the ME's office right now, so our purpose is to determine who the victims were and try to discern a pattern.
As long as the pattern gets you downrange to Schaefer, that's all that matters. Honestly, I'm sorry for the victims out there, but they're not our priority. I hate to say it. I hate to be the one. We're just trying to keep the tide at bay as best as we can.
You getting soft on me, Chief?
Gotta love what you do. Out.
Understood.
So you punch in the address to the ME. You realize it's probably about 20 minutes away. As I specified before, the ME office is located in the gymnasium of an old high school that was closed after Hurricane Rita, which took place on September 24th of 2005. And although it's been sanitized and cleaned up, the school had long since closed down. Being available, the building was soon converted into the local medical examiner's office, as well as housing for other functions, such as the local DMV, local records, permits, and such. There's even a satellite office for the local town rag, the Orleans Strip. Basically a junk magazine that most likely makes up the stories it prints or over-embellishes the ones they receive. It doesn't take long for you to find the office of the medical examiner. It says that Dr. Levin Broussard is the acting medical examiner.
Gotcha. All right, so then we will talk to Dr. Broussard, show our credentials, and try to be as nice and as accommodating as possible. Dr. Broussard, I'm Agent Adesso. This is Agent Okami. We're from the FBI. We're from the Los Angeles branch. If you have any contact with any agents from the Quantico branch, please grant us priority. We're more specialized than they are. It's a big operation. Bottom line is, these particular, I don't know what else to call them, but unnatural deaths have attracted the attention of, people involved with national security. So would it be possible to take a look at your files on these particular individuals, the last 4 deaths? And there's a 5th one coming in.
He runs his hand through his comb-over hair. He's just this robust-looking dude. And he says, I'm sorry I didn't get that. Could you repeat that?
Like the files.
Just kidding, Agent.
You had me.
You say that you're from a different field office than the other agents that were here about 20 minutes ago?
That is correct. Okay, so who did you speak with of those offices? Do you have any names?
I think it's an office Agent Blue, I think. He scratches his head.
Was it Agent Fuchs or Agent Windows?
No, it
Agent
wasn't.
Copper?
I think his name was Agent Blue, I think. Some weird color, I don't know. It's the weirdest shit I've ever heard. Make an observation check as you're talking with him.
Oh boy.
Is that for both of us?
Yeah, you can both make it.
Well, okay.
Got
And because you're law enforcement, add 20%.
I'm not law enforcement.
17.
17. You smell the strong fumes of bourbon coming off this man's breath every time he talks. And he's just, What can I do for you? What do you want me to do for you?
Okay. Did you give them the files, those previous FBI agents?
Oh, no. They wanted to see the bodies. They wanted to see the files. They wanted to make sure that the files were secure and where I kept them. But other than that, after the inspection of the bodies and going over it and everything, they said they got what they needed and they left.
Did they sign in any visitor logs?
No, they didn't.
They leave you a card?
No, they showed me their badges. They told me who they were, and that was that.
How did they react when they saw these bodies? I mean, for someone as seasoned as you are, I'm sure it wasn't too much of a shock, but for maybe someone who's not used to dealing with these sort of things, I assume it could be quite traumatic.
They seemed to take it in stride. It didn't seem to bother them at all. Which is kind of strange. You see something like that, and I don't know. I would think that they would have been a little more taken aback. It's kind of funny. As a professional myself, I love to see the look on people's faces when they see the bodies the first time. It always gets me. Just makes me giddy. Just seeing how much they hold themselves together, but they all seem to pull through like troopers, man. You think they've seen carnage every day?
Yeah, well, those Quantico boys are pretty strict. I don't know if you've noticed, they probably were a little bit brusque with you.
Yeah, they were very direct, especially the main one with the chiseled jaw. I mean, this guy.
Agent Blue.
Yes, Blue. Yeah, Blue.
Did they take anything with them after examining the bodies?
No, they didn't. And the other body hadn't arrived. The fifth victim hadn't shown up yet, so I told them that another body was coming. And did they want to stay? And they said no, they'll be back.
Did they say when?
No, they didn't. I didn't. These guys didn't look like they answered any questions. They asked. I don't even think they asked questions. They just told you the way things were going to be.
Yeah. Usually Agent Blue is, the Quantico boys are a bit more direct. What did he say if I'm trying to be polite here? Did he take offense at the smell of liquor on your breath? Did he just assume that's part of the struggle with the... It's not bad, but as someone who indulges myself, I happen to notice it, and I know that some of those boys are a bit Boy Scout when it comes to this sort of thing.
I don't drink before I'm on shift. I only drink during my breaks.
And those union rules, man. 2 breaks every 4 hours. What's a lunch?
No, he didn't seem to mention it at all. I ask if you please don't either. I'd hate to see my tenure of 8 years go down the drain. You know what I mean?
Well, as a fellow who likes the occasional, spine stiffener, I should say, maybe do a little rinse or something so it doesn't get out. I would hate for that to happen. But us LA, we're at the LA branch. We're a little bit more lax on that sort of thing. But I'd hate for that to get back to any of your superiors if Agent Blue mentioned something like that.
I appreciate it. Thank you, agents. I mean, for the most part, my patients here don't object. Get it? Anyways, no, sorry.
That's clever. Can we see the bodies, starting with the first?
Sure, you bet. He walks over to one of the freezers, opens the door, pulls it out, and he looks at the two of you with kind of like a anticipation.
Now, we know we're going to see some nasty shit, and since Odessa's already seen it, what can we do to prepare, give ourselves a bonus on our sanity check? Or do I have to make another sanity check because I've already seen
You won't
this?
have to, but
Okay.
each does.
Got
Each
it.
is as he rolls this table out, you see this shredded up body, very similar to the one that Odessa saw, gouged up from the shoulders up. Both of the arms had just been placed beside the corpse itself. I mean, they're obviously not attached. You see it's deep. You could see inside the chest cavity. Both upper lungs have been severely shredded up and missing. You see part of the spine, and that's basically everything. Go ahead and make a sanity check for me.
Are all the victims female?
No.
Okay, so this one is.
This one's male.
This one's male. Got it.
You said you wanted to see the first one.
Yes.
Rolled a
You said-
42 under 50.
42 under 50. You still take 1 point of sanity.
Odessa would like to make another inspection of the area, especially in the rib cage, seeing if he finds another thing.
Go ahead and make an observation check.
33.
33. As you look at this first body, you see deep gouges in the skin. Looks like they were made by some kind of a razor sharp instrument. But the entry points look rougher, like they were punctured by a non-surgical instrument. And as you start examining this, scrutinizing it for something similar to what you saw on the victim back out there on Bourbon Street, you do notice a sharp, stick-like thing in the sternum. It looks almost identical to the one you pulled out of the other body. This dingy yellow piece of calcified object.
Gotcha. All right, I'll ask our friendly ME over here for a bag and a pair of tweezers, as well as some gloves.
As you ask him that, the smile on his face fades. He's like, Did you find something? What'd you see? What do you see?
I'll point to it right there. That's not a natural artifact of the body.
He snaps on the latex, reaches in, and he's trying to pull this thing out, and it's deep in the bone. He reaches over, grabs some forceps, starts wiggling this thing back and forth till it pops out. And you see it looks like a triangle.
More of a tooth than a
It's about
fang.
2 inches long,
Holy shit.
but the width of it is only about 3/4 of an inch.
It's like your penis, Odessa.
Actually, it's wider than that, but
He's like, what the hell? And he hands it to you.
place it in a bag. Let's check the other bodies.
Wheels out the second one. Give me a luck roll.
Luck roll. Is that on a D20?
It is.
Okay. Hard 20.
Oh, the
Hard 20, baby.
Good lord.
Yeah.
You find another such one buried in the spine.
And I'll tell the ME, let's check them all out.
Were you on break and then came in and examined these? How are you missing something like this, Doctor?
Well, I mean, they're just saying, I just fill out the cause of death. I mean, severe laceration of the upper torso, and obviously anytime you're missing your head, that's probably going to cause death. Yeah, I was just, from what the lieutenant told me, I thought it was pretty cut and dry. I mean, they were saying that it was somebody running around with a sword or something. I was looking for some kind of wounds. I wasn't looking for teeth.
Do these look like sword attacks to you? And I'm not trying to be facetious. I'm asking you, do these look like any sort of edged weapon attack that you've ever seen?
I've seen some pretty messed up knife attacks, edged weapon attacks in my time. You'd be surprised what a dull weapon can do. Are you even familiar with edged weapons? Have you ever seen what an edged weapon can do to a human being?
I've seen a couple, but I've never seen it stick teeth in their spines.
Listen, I'm a purple belt, and I know, I've seen what these things can do to dummies and wooden things.
When do you get
They're
your
dangerous.
purple belt with a stripe? Is that your next test? And how many boards do you have to break? I don't know what has to
Three
do with
boards. It's but I have to pay
Agent
for it.
Okami, we really should take a look at the third and fourth bodies. Also, do you have any coffee?
I'll go get the coffee.
All right, well, I'll open up the... Show me where the third and fourth bodies are before you go, Doctor.
They're in the freezers right to the right. There's 3 and 4, respectively.
Got it. I'll
Find
open
any
up number
vodka
3.
chilling in there?
Yeah.
Pull the third body out. Give me another luck roll.
Okay. 10.
You don't find anything in that one.
Okay. Go over
Fourth
to
body.
body number 4. Another luck roll.
Yes.
14.
14? Nah. Nothing in that one either.
Okay.
What was the
Well,
other
that's
roll?
pretty
What was your pass roll? Was the hard 20? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the very first one was a hard 20. So we've got 3 teeth from 5 bodies.
And I'm sure that that doesn't mean that there aren't other teeth in the other ones. You just
didn't
in
see
your
'em.
quick examination, couldn't find them.
Right.
The Emmy comes back with 3 cups of coffee. Hand one to you, Odesso, one to you each. And he takes a drink of his. Switches.
Okay.
Sorry, this is yours.
I was going to say, I'm on the job, you know. I don't want to have anything in my coffee other than hot liquid.
Well, when you
Nothing
go on
sour.
break, you could always come back here. We'll celebrate your break. Did you guys find everything you're looking for?
Yes, we did. We could do a cursory inspection. Found we could. I suppose when you have more time, you could take a much closer look. Maybe you'll find something else. But these 2 will do for us for now.
Can we look at the patient's files as well, please? I'd love to see if there's any sort of thing linking them together, because to me, it appears that they're all just random people who had this unfortunate thing happen.
Sure. Come on back here. I have it in my office back here. And he goes back to his desk. He unlocks the cabinet, and as he puts the key in, I could have swore I locked this. He opens it up. He starts going through. He's like, I'm going to have to get back to you guys with that information.
Is it because the files are missing? Maybe they were taken when you were on one of your breaks?
I don't know.
Odessa whispers in each ear, dude, you're taking my lines here.
You're the one who talked about the coffee.
Well, you guys could finish up those lines and decide who gets which one next episode.
No.
We're just drinking. We're not doing lines.
Yeah. We're not doing mine.
It's almost break, though.
Outside of game for a minute, Ryder, if I wanted to make a roll based upon the lore and such that I know, being a guy who's been doing this for so long, what would it be? Would it be the intuition roll again?
In what regard? Tell me how you want
What the monster is?
Yeah, what the monster is, how it's summoned. If I've come across anything in any of our previous writings where it's like, oh man, hey, this sounds like the great jaw from beyond, or, the great fanged wonder of 1,000 mouths, or, if I'd come across anything like that. I'm just trying to look for anything that might clue us into how he's doing it, what materials he may need, and why there seems to be a regular 1 hour between contact and then death. Maybe anything I could use so that we could predict what he's going to be doing next.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what we could use, because I know that unnatural is a skill that nobody has a percentage in. Nobody can make that roll.
Right.
The only thing you could probably do is make it.
Maybe it's like a history check or something, but it's really not a history.
No, it's not. I almost want to say occult, but even that would be. I wish they had something like demonology. We're gonna have to add that
something
in
like
there.
that.
We're gonna
Maybe we could
adding
do that. Something. I mean, because I know he speaks Aklo, so he's been reading stuff. And the stuff he read, obviously people are reading. They're not reading a primer on how to do Aklo, ABCs with Aklo, or Dick and Jane run. They're probably not anything like that. It's probably been materials relating to what may be important to somebody who's writing in that language. So maybe he came across.
Okay, here's what I'm going to do then. We're gonna append this right now. Give me a How did we come up with our statistics? It was roll, what was it, 3d6? How did we come up with the original score?
Well, these were pre-generated.
Yeah. I didn't alter mine at all. I just got them from the book.
Okay, well, I wanted to add, power, intelligence. Do intelligence, okay. Whatever your intelligence is,
Yep.
what's the
We rolled
times
for our
5?
instinct.
What's it? No, intelligence times
Yeah.
5.
90.
Okay, 90. Wow, that's really
Yeah.
high.
Edesso had an 18 intelligence. That's why he went into military intelligence. So yeah, that's his forte.
Okay.
I mean, this should be something obscure. This may have been something
Yeah,
that he
I'm gonna
read. and
do
just,
something
like,
right
sticks.
now. We're gonna add this in there right now. It's gonna be called demonology. I'll ask you to do a demonology, which is based off our intelligence stat. Okay, so take your score. What is it? You said it's 90.
Yes.
Divide that by 5. What is that?
5 goes into 9 one time, leaving 40. So that's 18.
18. Okay, multiply 18 times 3.
Yeah. You're asking a lawyer to do math? Come on, man.
It's just like, what, 54 or something like that?
18
Well, I
times
want to know
3,
specifically.
54. Way to go, Sammy. Yeah.
Well,
it's
it's
54.
like times it by 20 and then minus 2 for each.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay,
Yeah.
so your score would be 54. Okay, so hold on a second. Thank you for joining us once again on Roll the Hard 20 podcast. Remember, you can find us and subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora Radio, iHeart Radio, Amazon Podcasts, and Audible. And if you like what you're listening to, be sure to leave us that 5-star rating and review. Don't forget about our YouTube channel at Roll the Hard 20. So if you're into watching and you want to help support this show, then head on over and hit that subscribe button. It really does help the show out. We can also be found in the wild on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, so don't forget to look for us there and check us out. You can also contact the show directly at rollthehard20podcast@gmail.com or head on over to the website at rollthehard20podcast.com, where you can download the current show directly, pick and choose past shows from our archives, or view our galleries. We've got a lot of stuff posted over there, so check us out. And finally, join us on our Patreon at patreon.com/rollthehard20podcast, where you can become a hard slinger and pick up swag. So until next time, keep your dice warm and your glass topped off as you roll those hard 20s.